Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. And earlier today, Pete Buttigieg absolutely destroyed Donald Trump over the train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio. As I'm sure you all know by now, a train derailed in East Palestine, Ohio, and that train was carrying toxic and flammable substances. And after the train derailed, it basically caused an environmental disaster. And for some reason, Republicans are trying to blame Joe Biden and Pete Buttigieg for this, when literally none of their actions contributed to this. And these Republican attacks have gone on since the train derailed. I mean, it's been 2 weeks now. And the funny thing about the Republican attacks is that it's not the fault of Joe Biden and Pete Buttigieg. It's actually the fault of Donald Trump and the deregulation of the rail industry under his administration. But today, Pete Buttigieg did what we've all been waiting for, and he finally took off the gloves and went on the offensive against Donald Trump. When Buttigieg was visiting East Palestine, Ohio today, he was asked what Donald Trump could do to help the situation and what Donald Trump should be doing. And Pete Buttigieg called him out for his hypocrisy and his lies. Take a look at the clip.
Yeah. You mentioned a national political figure who's decided to get involved. It sounds like you're talking about Trump, and then you said, I need your help. How can he help?
Well, one thing he could do is express support for reversing the deregulation that happened on his watch. I heard him say he had nothing to do with it, even though it was in his administration. So if he had nothing to do with it, and they did it in his administration against his will, maybe he could come out and say that he supports us moving in a different direction. We're not afraid to own our policies when it comes to raising the bar on regulation. And I've got to think that him indicating that this is something that everybody, no matter how much you disagree on politics and presidential campaigns, can get behind. Higher fines, tougher regulations on safety, Congress untying our hands on braking rules, all the other things that go with that, that'd be a nice thing for him to do.
Pete Buttigieg is just so good at this. Donald Trump has been going around trying to shift the blame off himself, saying, I had nothing to do with the deregulation of the rail industry, even though he was president at the time and it was his administration that did it. Oh, and by the way, the Trump administration was lobbied by the rail industry to roll back regulation, so he absolutely had something to do with it. But listen, if Donald Trump wants to claim that it wasn't done by him, he had no idea, and that he wasn't involved in it, that's okay, but why hasn't he come out in support of stronger regulation then? Like seriously, if he wants to make the claim that he disagrees with the deregulation of the rail industry, then I'm so glad to hear that he's supporting President Biden and Pete Buttigieg's plan to regulate it more. But overall, I just think it's so funny how Republicans are trying to take zero responsibility for what happened in East Palestine, Ohio. I mean, Donald Trump literally bragged on Twitter about deregulating the rail industry. Let's just look at the contrast here. Donald Trump on Twitter said, I'm continuing to get rid of costly and unnecessary regulations. Much work left to do, but effect will be great. Business and jobs will grow. Yeah, and then 2018, we got this article saying Trump rolls back train braking rule meant to keep oil tankers from exploding near communities. Doesn't that sound familiar now? Donald Trump rolled back Obama-era regulation on certain brakes that would have helped with this situation. Republicans and Donald Trump also made it harder for first responders to respond to certain spills. And then they say, well, Biden is in office. Why didn't he put the regulations back? It's because passing regulation and actually implementing them takes time. But hey, by all means, if Republicans want to join us in wanting to regulate the rail industry more, fine by me, come on over to our side. But regardless of all of the Republican hypocrisy, Pete Buttigieg actually surveyed the damage in East Palestine, Ohio. And unlike Donald Trump, he wasn't just there for a photo op. He didn't give out hats, he didn't give out water bottles with his name on it like Donald Trump did. He was focused on the people of East Palestine, Ohio, and the response to the disaster. Trump and the Republicans want to make a whole publicity stunt out of this event, but Democrats and Pete Buttigieg are not interested in the media attention. They're interested in making these people's lives better and making sure that everybody is safe. Anyway, folks, that's gonna wrap up the video for today. That Pete Buttigieg clip is amazing, and I can't wait to hear Donald Trump's response. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I would really appreciate if you did all of those things. And once again, folks, whether you agree with me or you disagree with me, have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you folks soon.